There's a new game stirring up the cozy and casual world, and I'll be utterly shocked if you haven't at least heard of it. Just in case you haven't, Infinity Nikki is a new free to play open world RPG dress up game. You'll be swapping out outfits in order to explore, glide, groom, and catch your way to glamorous fame. With each of your outfits having different stats and skills, you'll need to craft and combine your best pieces to pass various challenges throughout the game and eventually beat it. Now, there's a looming question I've been asked a few times, and that's, can you beat the game without paying for anything? Well, I'm happy to report that the answer is absolutely yes. You might be relieved to know that I've nearly completed everything you can do in the game, except a few spare side quests that I'm doing leisurely so that I still have a reason to log in every day, and have yet to spend any money. At the end of this video, I'll talk about what might be worth spending money on if you want to support the game's overall development or just end up enjoying it enough that you think it's worth spending a few dollars on. But we'll save that for last. For now, let's talk about how you can go about beating this game without spending your hard earned cash. And I'm going to do it without spoiling any of the story content. First, your main goal in Infinity Nikki is to advance through the story campaign. And honestly, it's a pretty strong story. You'll come to find that after a few chapters in, though, you'll need to reach certain requirements to advance. I didn't personally find these requirements to be cumbersome, though, since if you just naturally play the game the way an open world game is meant to be played, and by that I mean doing every little side activity you come across along the way, or collecting everything you see, then you'll have no trouble meeting these requirements. What you'll need to have so that you can advance does vary. Some will require you to have a certain stylist rank, and others will ask to see your excessive amount of clothes to prove that you're up to the next challenge. Once you pass these soft progress checks, though, you're free to move on to the next chapter of the story. Considering there are 8 chapters in total, it will take you some time to get through it, and it's not possible to binge all in one day due to these soft progress checks requiring daily styling points. So be prepared to spend multiple days climbing the ranks in order to move forward. Just to note, when I say ranks, I'm not talking about a rank versus other players. So if you're stressed about needing to compete against other players for points or ranks, that doesn't exist in the game. At least, not right now. So you can set yourself free from any fear of that. In Infinity Nikki, you simply rank up by completing tasks in your progress book. These can be as simple as taking pictures and as complex as grooming the legendary animals. But each task will grant you points that will help increase your rank overall. Again, I found it no trouble at all to complete these tasks and earn the ranks needed to progress. You should achieve it naturally just through playing and exploring the world. All of this combined should allow you to progress all the way through Chapter 8, at least up until the point where you'll need to become a literal fashion queen so that you might craft the legendary outfit from the campaign, or rather, the Wishful Aurosa. Once you've crafted this outfit, you'll have but 1 or 2 more quests to finish off the story so far, and will be unleashed to do side quests and explore to your heart's content without the campaign looming over you. Now, there's something I did not realize until Chapter 7 in the game, which is critical to completing it. I happened to be taking a deeper look at the crafting materials for the Wishful Aurosa outfit. It required 4 seemingly legendary quality items that stated they could only be obtained from the sovereigns of each styling faction that exist within the game. These factions, as they're called, are small groups of NPCs that each have a leader. There are 12 leaders in total, with 3 leaders nested beneath each of their respected sovereign. With a total of 4 sovereigns, you'll have to challenge and beat to secure their medals. Said medals can then be exchanged for these required resources to craft the Wishful Aurosa outfit. This brings us to the main point of our video, in that the only way to beat these factions, and eventually sovereigns, is by challenging them to a fashion duel. You'll need to sport your best outfits in cool, fresh, sweet, sexy, and elegant categories to pull off each victory. There are dozens of NPCs to beat in order to successfully work your way through the factions, so you're going to need quite the arsenal of outfits to succeed. This is the point where you might feel tempted to buy something from the shop. Why? Well, unless you're literally min-maxing your experience to the brim the way I was, It's going to be painstaking to acquire all the materials, balance your daily point spending, and glow up your outfits fast enough to beat each of the sovereigns. These starting ones are by far the easiest, with the sexy and fresh sovereigns pushing your materials to the brink just to pass with a bare minimum grade. So, how can you get away with not spending money, yet still beating the game? Well, let's get started with my suggestions. The first and most obvious route is by completing the daily, weekly, and monthly events. These events will range from just logging in daily to collect a reward, to completing world tasks such as taking photos of specific locations or taking a ride on every mode of transportation in the game. Every task and event you complete will allow you bonus rolls in the Resonance Shop and vital glow up in Eureka materials. But we'll talk about them in just a moment. You'll also earn diamonds, and these are by far the most critical material in the game, as they'll allow you to buy rolls for resonance or spend them to regenerate your daily energy that can be used in the various realms in the game. More on those in a moment as well. It's worth noting that you can earn diamonds just by completing quests and side activities too. So, to those who love to do the small stuff, just know that it's actually quite worth doing in Infinity Nikki. Now, let's talk about resonance, since owning some nice 4 and 5-star outfits is your first challenge. The Resonance Shop is the in game roll, or lottery if you prefer, system that gives you a random chance at exclusive outfits. Each roll guarantees you a 3-star piece, with luck deciding if you get 4 or 5-star pieces. Thankfully, you are guaranteed at least one 4-star or above piece every 10 rolls. So while it might feel like pulling teeth at first, eventually you will be able to finish off some of the great sets. Also, while the 5-star sets are gorgeous, believe it or not, you can beat the game with only 4-star sets. So if you're having bad luck with the legendary outfit pieces, this won't inhibit your game. I will say that out of all my rolls up to this point, I've acquired 2 5-star outfits and 3 4-star. So I will applaud Infinity Nikki for ensuring at some point you get the stuff you need. Once you've actually acquired the outfits you need, next comes enhancing them. This is through the glow up system I mentioned earlier, which involves spending threads, bubbles, and gems to level up your outfits. Each piece has a max level of 10, and trust me when I say it will take you a massive amount of materials to get these up to max. I'd also advise against attempting to max them, as you're going to need a total of 5 solid outfits to get you through end game. So use your resources sparingly and only when needed. What do I mean by this? Well, each NPC you challenge will have a different theme. Some are easy enough that a base level 5-star set will be enough to pass with a perfect score. And for those, you want to avoid spending your resources since you don't need them. Once you get to the sovereigns, you'll realize that those precious resources you saved are now needed in mass, and it's at this point you should use them and upgrade your sets. Again, though, be as sparing as possible, as the beginning sovereigns aren't too difficult, but the final one will be, so prepare to upgrade a lot. This is the point where I say, make sure you're doing the Mira Journey event and Mira Crown. Both of these events provide massive amounts of resources for glow-ups, so don't miss out on them. The second part of fashion challenges is your Eureka. A few chapters in, you'll unlock the Realm of Eureka, which will allow you to complete time trials in exchange for items that can be worn on your hands, head, and feet. Like the outfits, each Eureka will have points in specific fashion types. And so you'll want to collect one for each category and one for each body part. You'll have a total of 15 Eureka that you use with different outfits, and this will help provide you with the extra points you'll need to push your fashion scores from just under normal to passing with flying colors. I actually found that upgrading my Eureka was the easiest way to ensure I succeeded in these duels, so if you focus more on those towards the beginning of the game, then you won't be wasting your time. Eureka, like the clothes, can also be upgraded to level 10. You'll combine your extra Eurekas into the main ones, and that will award XP and allow you to upgrade them. I'd recommend getting all of your Eureka evenly upgraded to levels 6 through 10. I say evenly because you can only obtain Eureka through questing or through using your daily energy in the realm, so there is a limited amount to be obtained each week. If you dump all your resources into one type of Eureka, you could get yourself stuck waiting until you can upgrade the other ones to pass the final fashion challenges. So, what do all of these equal put together? Well, if you complete quests, including side ones, you'll earn enough diamonds for resonance chances, allowing you to obtain the critical dresses needed to pass the Sovereign's challenges. Through in game events like Mira Journey and Mira Crown, you'll get enough resources to glow up your outfits and improve their scores. And lastly, you'll be able to use your daily energy and rewards from quests to upgrade your Eureka and give you that final boost you need to beat any style contest you come across. At this point, I have over 60 hours in Infinity Nikki, and as I stated at the beginning, have beaten it without spending a dime. However, I will say that the game is incredible, and I'm not against the idea of people spending money on it to continue supporting the development. They have a huge roadmap planned for more content, new zones, new storylines, and of course, new outfits in the future, so your support will aid in securing that reality. If you're that person that wants to spend some money on a great game, then here's what I'd recommend from the shop that will make your daily, weekly, and monthly journey in Miraland a lot less grindy. And first is the Mira Journey Pack. This is a Battle Pass style pack that costs $10 and through completing tasks that you'll do naturally while playing anyways, you'll earn way more resources for resonance, glow ups, and Eurekas. So it's a handy pack if you'd prefer to do less in-game overall. Honestly, at this point, the only reason I haven't bought the pack yet is because I've already beaten everything. But for the next expansion or content pack that releases, I'll definitely look to buy something similar if it's offered. The only other thing I'd recommend would be the Daily Vital Energy Pack. It can go a long way towards increasing the amount of glow-up materials and Eureka upgrades you can accomplish on a daily basis. And it only costs a single dollar, so it's pretty worth it in my opinion. And no, I'm not being paid or promoted by Infinity Nikki to say this. Everything else in the store is honestly unnecessary. Unless you happen to like the outfits in the shop for cosmetic reasons, there's no need to stress about buying any of them. They're only 3 and 4 star outfits, and even after glowing them up, they won't compete with the ones you earn from resonance. If you really want to, you could look into a few of the less expensive title resonance packs, but honestly, even that feels a tad unnecessary unless you're looking to complete all the outfits from resonance for the sake of it. And with all of that explained, I'll leave you to your fun with Infinity Nikki. But if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm more than happy to fill any gaps or just provide feedback and advice should you need it. If you enjoyed the video, please give that like button a tap. It helps the video go so much further than without. And consider subscribing if you want more content like this from us in the future. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.